welcome back to another episode of Tandem Fandom. I'm Mick.
I'm Courtney.
And we are returning to the top 10 list of things we would like to see return to the WWE.
Bring it on back.
That's right. With the new era right around the corner, we figure the best way to really pump some power and creative juices into the new era is to sprinkle some old success.
Recapping our list so far, we have at number 10, more vignettes. At number 9, work with other and smaller promotions.
At number 8, we had the return of the television title. And at number 7, we have a return to 2 World Championship. Without further ado, we dive right in. At number 6, we would like to see the King of the Ring tournament return to prominence.
Yes, for it to have a little more oomph behind the winner, for it to mean a little bit something more, with the most recent one being King Barrett. It really just turned into a silly gimmick for him.
And you know,
it worked. I loved King Barrett, but
yeah,
it really just turned into another character for him, and it held no prominence.
Well, and when you look at what they did with the tournament, they actually gave it its own special on the network. So that was pretty cool because I'm like, all right, this is a little bit different. This is a little more important than they had done it in the past. But again, it was just we slap a crown on him, we give him a scepter, and he just plays this goofy king, I'm king of the WWE. When I look back at some of the previous King of the Rings, I look at a guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin. When he became King of the Ring, it completely changed his career path. I look at a guy like Edge, who, if I remember correctly, didn't even do the crown and scepter. He had a giant Stanley Cup-like tournament, which was amazing. Or, not tournament, trophy.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing. You know, Kurt Angle, yes, he had the scepter and the crown for the, coronation, and that was pretty much it, So, yeah, you can do the crown, you can do the scepter, but I don't think it automatically needs to have it be your gimmick for the next few months, like when Sheamus did it, and when Regal did it, when all these different people have done it.
Although I do really love King Booker.
That's the only guy, I was going to say, the only guy that has made the stupid king gimmick work is King Booker!
Because it was just so far removed from sucker!
Yeah, well, and again, he made it work, and he made it
and
more.
And he had a queen, Queen Charmel. He elevated that that difference. So it can work, but they shouldn't slap that on any guy who wins it.
Bret Hart wasn't doing that. Bret Hart wasn't doing that nonsense when he did it.
Wouldn't do that.
I don't really feel like this is the direction that I should go. Didn't feel right.
Yeah.
But, just seeing it return to prominence where, it's something that really helped elevate Stone Cold. It's something that really helped elevate Kurt Angle. It's something that really helped elevate Edge. Booker, it took him to a new level and gave him a new dimension.
Right.
Even Sheamus, you could make somewhat of an argument that helped elevate Sheamus.
Sweet crown.
He did. But I think seeing it return to an importance, having a big deal, being a pay-per-view again, that was a big change that we've not seen.
And especially with how the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale has been used to really push Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Why can't King of the Ring be that again?
I think, especially with something like the Andre Memorial, you could do that at WrestleMania, and then maybe after SummerSlam or right before SummerSlam, you can do King of the Ring, and that way, at 2 points in the calendar year for WWE, you can have something to do a major push for a guy, and especially with the draft coming up, reintroducing the King of the Ring, making it more important, making it more prominent, you can have guys qualify from Raw, you can have guys qualify from SmackDown, you have crossover, you can build feuds between the brands, you can have guys maybe switch brands through that, and it's one thing that you can build them up, or have 2 tournaments. 2
Yeah.
King of the Rings, one for Raw, one for SmackDown, and then have the Raw guy and the SmackDown guy compete against each other to
The
see
Clash of Kings.
Yeah, to see who the true king is.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Just a storyline that writes itself.
Yeah, it's really easy, and something that I would do, only use younger talent. Maybe put an asterisk on it. You can't have competed or been a world champion, or, you couldn't have been IC or US champion. That way you give guys like a Neville, an opportunity to really build themselves and do something outside of just like I wear a crown and act like an asshole for a few months.
Right, actually make it an accolade.
Yeah, it's something that I think would be just a great addition, especially with the brand split coming up, because that's where I feel King Booker found ultimate success, is because it was brands. He got to have a great run on SmackDown with that gimmick.
And this rolls right into our next pick.
5.
Five time. More tournaments.
Yes.
Just more tournaments. And going back to King of the Ring, why not Queen of the Ring?
Oh, that would be
There's
fantastic.
so much female talent coming up now. We could have a legit Queen of the Ring tournament.
And you could even modify it to where maybe the winner gets a #1 contendership.
Because there's no female Money in the Bank.
No. And have a tournament to determine that, we're starting to see this. So this is something that I feel like WWE is really starting to look at seriously with the Cruiserweight Classic, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They are starting to realize, hey man, doing tournaments is kind of a good thing to start building up some guys, to put some guys out there, to give them an exposure in a different light and in a different capacity.
And to get some buzz, get people talking. It's easier to talk about events than it is to talk about individuals.
Yeah, I mean, I always was a big fan of when they would do the tournament to crown champions. If it was like this belt was vacated and they had a big tournament to crown the champion. I always like that kind of stuff because, it's whether or not they did, it always seemed like guys wrestled harder and tried harder, and you got a better quality of match because it wasn't just, well, I go out on Raw and I have a great match tonight. No, it's because there was something more on the line.
It was a
opportunity. Well, again, it's the one thing that makes King of the Ring better. Yeah, sometimes it's only like, a 6 or 8 man tournament, but there's something more there for people to work with. And I feel like when you incorporate and introduce more tournaments, it just adds a little bit more to the matches. It makes the story a little more special.
A little extra flavor, because we all know win-loss ratios, they don't matter. They don't exist in wrestling. W's and L's don't matter at all. So you go out, you wrestle your match, you lose tonight, you win tonight. It's the same every night. But if you incorporate more tournaments, more qualifiers, more pep, and a little extra zazz into what these matches mean, then you're just generating your own publicity, and I think it's a great idea.
Well, and this is something that Japan does a lot. New Japan really utilizes tournament formats quite often by using like brackets and points. Like they have their Best of the Super Juniors, they have their G1 Classic, both of which are used to determine #1 contender for the junior heavyweight title and the heavyweight title. And it's cool because generally they have contenders. Like, it's like, okay, well, this month Kushida's working against, Alex Shelley. I don't believe he has, but, just an example. Okada's working against Naito. So this is a way that you can build a new star by letting them go out and have a great match. Prime example, the latest, Best of the Super Junior tournament. Will Ospreay and Ricochet had a match that was an incredible match. It created so much buzz and so much attention, and it wasn't even the last match in the tournament. Ospreay eventually won the tournament, but
everybody remembers that match.
Yeah, that match stood out, and it was because that match, there was something on the line, there was an opportunity that was there.
There's already eyes on it because it is a tournament, so guys can really showcase what they can do in front of an audience that's already there.
Yeah.
And then you draw more.
Well, and when Naito was champion, he's not any longer, but when Naito was champion, he had said that he was going to enter the G1 tournament. Well, of course, the winner of the G1 tournament, if you are the world champion, you wouldn't get a shot at yourself. That doesn't make any sense. But he had worked a story that he said, if I won the G1 tournament, I think that should give me the right to book the show. Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's different, because why not? And in WWE, they could do something along the same lines of, like, if they had a tournament for the Intercontinental Championship. Let the Intercontinental Champion say, why can't I enter? And if I win, I should get a shot at the world title.
Yeah.
Just little things that you can do from a story perspective, giving you an opportunity to build talent on the roster and further things.
Well, in the past 2-3 weeks, Impact has had matches like that with the X Division and the Ultimate X.
Yeah, well, and they have coming up their Bound for Glory playoff series, which again, it's people love playoffs. If you look at any professional sport, football, basketball, baseball, anytime you enter the playoffs, the views go up.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a whole percentage of audience for any sport that only watches when the playoffs start. Like, they don't watch regular season; they only watch when it matters.
Well, and I mean, that's something that if you look at basketball, that has been a legit observation, that because they have so many games that they play, many people don't actually tune in until the playoffs, because when you're playing like 80, 90 games, one, it's tough to keep up with that, and you're like, well, I'm going to tune in when it's just these 3 or 4 that are really important and really matter and are going to be more exciting.
It's like, I never know that college ball started until March Madness happens again.
Exactly. But, if you apply that to wrestling, you can do so much with that. And I really hope to see it, returning King of the Ring to prominence, and I think they're getting there. They're doing that with the Cruiserweight Classic, with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic, which they said will return. Something we're going to see again. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's all we got today for number 6 and number 5. Join us next time as we get into the top 5 at number 4 and number 3. As always, please make sure to comment on the video below. We'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about what you'd like to see returned.
Also, please throw us a like and a subscribe if you so choose.
Follow us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And as we always say here on Tandem Fandom, if you're going to be a fan,
bring a friend.